with the Chibok-related story. The girls that were abducted were exactly 1 year after their abduction. The Bring Back Our Girls group on Tuesday took the street protest to the Ministry of Education with a view to seeing the Minister of Education, Ibrahim Shekarau. The procession was led by 219 children as young as 3 years old, who represent each of the girls abducted by Boko Haram from their school in Chibok, Borno State. Members of the group used the opportunity to decry government's attitude towards the rescue of the girls. While some say the government has done enough, others express doubt over its sincerity on the matter. But the Bring Back Our Girls group vows not to relent in the struggle to ensure that the girls are rescued alive, and is urging the incoming administration to make the girls' release a priority. Meanwhile, President-elect Muhammadu Buhari is not sure that the girls abducted from Chibok would be found exactly 1 year today, can be rescued. This, he says, because the exact whereabouts of the 219 girls remain unknown, contrary to reports of sightings. The president-elect said in a personally signed statement issued from Daura, Katsina State, that his administration would, however, do everything possible to bring them home. Buhari noted that from his first day in office, Boko Haram will feel the strength of the Nigerians' collective will and commitment to stemming the tide of terror and restore peace and normalcy to affected areas. The incoming president also promised to improve educational opportunities as a direct counterbalance to what he described as Boko Haram's twisted ideology on Western education. He added that as Nigerians remember the day, it should be used as time to reflect on the pain and sufferings of the victims, their friends and families. And now to Ekiti politics. The Supreme Court has affirmed that Ekiti State Governor Ayof Aishe was duly elected on June the 21st, 2014. The court turned down an appeal filed by All Progressives Congress against the electoral victory of Fayose. A 7-man panel led by Justice Sylvester Nguta unanimously agreed with their earlier decision of the Court of Appeal and the Ekiti State Governorship Election Tribunal that petition lacked merit. Basil Okafor reports that the Apex Court dismissed APC's position on Fayose's impeachment on the ground that the panel that investigated him was not properly constituted. The report is presented from our studios.
The legal battle to unseat the Ekiti State's governor has been finally laid to rest. This is after the APC lost its third attempt to remove Fayose on the ground of alleged forged certificates and his 2005 impeachment after he won the June 21, 2014 governorship election. The Supreme Court, in its judgment, held that none of the grounds of appeal was proved by the appellant.
You can say that the appeal has finally, in this judgment, laid to rest so many issues that are not only relevant to Ekiti State, not only relevant to Dr. Peter Odili Fayose, but to the entire electorate in Nigeria as to what constitutes an impeachment, what are the consequences of an impeachment, where and when do you find a man or woman guilty of an offense. And not only that, we know that in our political space, there has been a lot of mudslinging, people making all sorts of unfounded allegations against their opponents. In this judgment, the court has again reaffirmed the hallowed constitutional rule that you do not convict a man unless you have found him guilty after a fair hearing has been offered him.
This is the final court of the country, and they have spoken. Their judgment is the law now. And we're happy, even though we lost, because this law must develop. We all know now that impeachment is no longer, you cannot even use it as a factor to disqualify somebody. But of course, they made their point that all our institutions, they must be up and doing. If somebody was impeached, you have to go back. The police, to effect arrest, try that governor in the court of law or tribunals, so that you can now bar him for 10 years from recontesting. So we are happy with the judgment.
With this judgment, Fayose supporters say the victory is further proof that the governor had a genuine mandate of the people.
We are indeed very happy with the outcome of the judgment. It settled a lot of issues. And firstly, that impeachment is not a ground for disqualification. And also the issue of certificate. That the issue of certificate too, whether he forged the certificate or not, have been settled long ago in the case of AD versus Fayose, and it has become res judicata. There is an estoppel that have prevented them from raising the issue again, that there was no evidence of any forgery, as this issue had long been settled in an earlier case involving AD and the Governor Fayose.
The post-election case might have been dispensed, but political analysts say Fayose still has more hurdles to cross before his tenure expires, especially with the 19 state legislators bent on removing him from office. But for now, the governor and his supporters can afford to savor the sweet taste of victory at the Supreme Court.
Meanwhile, as the Supreme Court upholds the victory of Ayodele Fayose's June 21st, 2014 governorship election in Ekiti, jubilant crowd led by the governor himself held the city of Ado-Ekiti spellbound in his thank you tour around the state capital. Fayose extends olive branch to all and sundry as he preaches peace across board. Correspondent Rashid reports.
As the news of the Supreme Court victory of Ayodele Fayose filters into town, the expectant party went around the major streets of Ado-Ekiti in their numbers to celebrate the governor's victory. The crowd, led by the governor himself, expressed gratitude to the people of the state. Not oblivious of the task ahead and the impeachment crisis engulfing the state, Ayo Fayose extends the olive branch to all and sundry, especially the opposition party.
Ekiti is above all. If truly our democracy is about service, our struggle is about service, it's time for the opposition to sheath their sword. Let us have Ekiti state, Ekiti, that we will have peace. Enough of these bickerings, enough of this division. This is not the only state in Nigeria. I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me. It is time to give me peace because of Ekiti. I didn't vote for myself. They voted for me. And I'm extending love to them. They should come. This is their state. Rather than fight me, fighting me is like fighting the common man. I want everybody, all players, all stakeholders, let us be honorable. Let us allow peace in the state. I have nothing against anybody. I've forgiven everybody, and I want everybody on board. Let's work together in the interest of our state.
To all the PDP stalwarts, the Supreme Court judgment is an affirmation of Fayose's acceptance and a final blow to the opposition.
Before, the threat was heavy. They were threatening us. When they won, we didn't have peace. They threatened impeachment. They did everything, but for God, we now have victory at last.
The victory is concluded. We have gotten the victory. And the first instance, they were in the lower court, we got it. They were in the appeal court, we got it. We are now in the appeal court. And the Supreme Court has also confirmed that PDP has the victory. So what more?
The Ekiti All Progressives Congress, speaking through its publicity secretary Taiwo Olatubosun in a phone chat, though accepts the Supreme Court judgment, but questions the moral standing of Governor Fayose. The battle over the election may be over, but no doubt the state PDP and APC are still in the trenches. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Staying in Ekiti. Now, the House of Assembly election had nearly ended when the impeachment crisis gained momentum again. In a new twist to the matter, the Speaker of the PDP-led legislators, Ulugbemi, accused the APC of holding clandestine meeting with him in order to pave way for the impeachment of Governor Ayodele Fayose. The APC and the PDP have taken the issue before the judiciary. Again, Rashid reports.
without mincing words and in apparent confidence of the awareness of what he is saying. The Speaker of the PDP in Ekiti State House of Assembly, Dele Olugbemi, made a stunning revelation to journalists on his level of involvement in the impeachment process served Governor Fayose as he threatens to name his co-travelers in the APC.
I am involved in part of the plan. I have been invited to Osun. I have been invited to Lagos to discuss whether we tender my resignations by the APC, and I met one with Omenis and some leaders. If they go ahead with this impeachment, I will mention their name. I will. I am involved, and I said, mistakenly they thought I can be bribed with little money that will make me to sing my stand.
Olugbemi, however, asked the G19 Speaker Adewale Omirin to stop parading himself as Speaker, even as he added that the possibilities of the Chief Judge or the APC constituting the 7-man investigative panel, just the way the impeachment notice was served, is high.
It is therefore my position that Omirin and his cohorts should stop impersonating my office as the speakers of Ekiti State House of Assembly. I know they can still go online and said, even if the Chief Judge refused to constitute the C7, they can still send a message via their online said they've constituted and named some strange name that they are the part of the panel. So I know them.
The coming days will surely bring more drama as Ekiti awaits the outcome of the Supreme Court judgment against the June 21st governorship election, while the APC, through its state publicity secretary, Taiwo Latubosun, on a phone chat, dismisses Olugbemi's assertion as laughable. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Well, if you have joined us, you're watching CoreTV News at 7. Well, we'll go for a quick break. When we return, we have stories relating to a promise by the Lagos governorship-elect, Akinwumi Ambode, to make the civil service the best in Africa. Join us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Welcome back. Well, you can reach us on our following social media platforms to track our stories. Facebook.com/CoreTV News, or our Twitter handle @CoreTV News. You can also tap into our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space and then news. Oyo State Accord governorship candidate Rashid Ladoja says the outcome of the just concluded election is not the will of the people of Oyo and would be reversed in 3 months' time. He accused incumbent and re-elected governor Abiola Ajimobi and the resident electoral commissioner of rigging the votes in favor of the APC and defrauded the citizens of Oyo. Ladoja, however, appealed to his supporters not to foment any trouble but continue to support the party until the outcome is examined for the right winner to emerge. He, however, added that if the incumbent tries to start any trouble with his supporters, they will be willing to fight back. We will be bringing more details in our subsequent bulletin regarding this story. And here in Lagos, Governor-elect Akinwumi Ambode has promised to make the state civil service the best in Africa. Ambode, accompanied by Lagos State Governor Fashola, made this promise in appreciation of the civil servants for their support at the just concluded April 11 governorship and House of Assembly elections. Both Fashola and Ambode urged the workers to cooperate with the government to consolidate on the success made.
But apart from coming to say thank you, is also to appeal to you not to lose what we have achieved. I've continued to say this and I will continue to reinforce it, because if we lose it, we will have to do it again. My mission is very simple. Everything I've gained in life, I've actually come from this same civil service. My major duty is to make the civil service the best civil service in Africa. Everything I have suffered for, everything I have gained, everything I left, it was more about sacrifice. I sacrificed myself to be here this morning. And that sacrifice is about selflessness. And that is the epitome of civil service. It's the best noble service I have ever known. And that is the way we are going to keep it.
The April 11th House of Assembly election results of Koshofe Constituency 1 seems not to go down well with the People's Democratic Party and its candidate. Oluwaseyi Adegoke was there and filed in this report.
Just as congratulations are in order for the governor-elect of Lagos State and other successful candidates in the just concluded elections, the PDP Koshofe Constituency 1 is still contesting the results.
These irregularities are brought about on due margin in favor of the acclaimed winner, Honorable Bayo Shinowo of the APC. For instance, in Constituency 1 Ward B polling units 017, wrong ballot papers were used in casting votes in Ifakobagada. In this particular polling unit, almost 70 ballot papers meant for casting votes at Amu Odofin were used at Ifakobagada. It is apparent from the above evidence that other polling units may have been subjected to similar unacceptable irregularities by the INEC officials.
Alleged irregularities in many polling units within Koshofe constituency on April 11 gave undue advantage to the All Progressives Congress in the declared results.
When you have votes that are so close, the margin is so close, there is fear that especially the incumbency will use undue pressure, the power of incumbency, the control of the apparatus of government, that it will be used.
The PDP in Koshofe Constituency 1 says it will continue to work towards getting justice, but implores the Independent National Electoral Commission to carry out the necessary due diligence to determine the true winner of the election. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And now to Oyo State, the State Police Command has paraded 20 suspected male thugs arrested at the weekend before the April 11th election. Though they were arrested for different offenses, the State Commissioner of Police, Muhammad Kassina, says the suspects will be charged to court in due course, as he warned other citizens to be law-abiding. Our correspondent, Omotayalo, filed in this report.
Though the just concluded elections in the state have been adjudged generally peaceful, but it did not go without some security challenges, which was managed by security operatives who rose promptly to the occasion. From election-related crimes of unlawful possession of election materials, possession of criminally masterminded campaign posters, armed robbery, attempt to commit felony to disruption of electoral process by breaking of ballot boxes, the police boss say the force will always be on top of the situation. Among the arrested suspects are some traditional troublemakers of the NURTW who were known for fomenting trouble during elections. While investigation is inconclusive, the public relations officer of
Now, in Imo State, PDP supporters have taken to the streets calling on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to declare the party's candidate, Emeka Ihedioha, the rightful winner of the governorship election conducted in the state. They also accused the All Progressives Congress of implementing a systematic and organized rigging from the top to undermine the will of the people. Spokesperson of the group and Minister of State for Education, Viola Omulori, says the party will not accept being rigged out of what rightly belongs to it.
It's unfortunate that an election won by the PDP roundly, and the goods now came up to the center to go in favor of the APC. People have rejected the religious party. They have rejected the APC longer than now, and that is why they used force to ensure that we know the results for the people. So the results we are seeing are not actually
The agencies, however, prevented the situation from turning violent with tempers flaring. Away from that story, the Lagos State government has dispelled rumors of another outbreak of the deadly Ebola virus in the country. Speaking at a joint ministerial media briefing, the State Commissioner for Health, Jide Idris, says the government will not rest on its oars to keep Nigeria and Nigerians Ebola-free. Abiola Oluwole has more in this report as presented from our studios.
After being certified Ebola-free by the United Nations, the news of another outbreak of the deadly disease went viral on April 9th in the social media platforms. This media briefing, according to Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Jide Idris, is to douse the tension and rumored return of Ebola to Nigeria.
Since then, the following actions have been taken by us to address the issues above. 1. We verified the source, the quality and viability of the rumor. 2. The authors of the rumor have been written to pull down their articles due to its far-reaching adverse implications. 3. We commenced social media campaign to debunk the news on our Facebook page fda.com/Ebola alert. And 4, media organizations have been contacted to circulate the correct information to their colleagues and their audience.
While calling on members of the public to disregard the malicious information, Idris maintains that government is leaving no stone unturned to keep the state Ebola-free.
And by way of reminder to the general public, the Ebola virus disease could be spread through close contact with blood, body fluids, organ and tissues of infected persons, of infected animals, direct contact of broken skin or mucous membranes with blood, organ, or body secretions of an infected person, and the transmission of the virus by other animals like monkeys and chimpanzees can also not be ruled out. And those at the highest risk include our health workers, families and friends of an infected person in the course of feeding, holding and caring for them. Early symptoms of the Ebola virus disease include fever, headache, chills, diarrhea, nausea and vomiting, sore throat, backache and joint pains. These are things we've been saying all along.
It will be recalled that a Liberian diplomat, Patrick Sawyer, brought the deadly disease to Nigeria in 2014.
If you've just joined us, it's CoreTV News at 7. We'll go for another quick break. When the news returns, we'll bring you a story on how suspected Islamic militants have attacked the Ministry of Higher Education in the Somali capital, Mogadishu.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. Now straight to news outside Nigeria. Suspected Islamic militants attacked the Higher Education Ministry building in the Somali capital, Mogadishu, on Tuesday, setting off 2 big blasts before gunmen stormed inside and battled with the security forces, police and witnesses says. There was no immediate comment from the Islamic group Al-Shabaab, but it has frequently launched such raids in Mogadishu in the past and it insists to topple the Western-backed government and impose a strict interpretation of Islamic law. At the end of March, Al-Shabaab militants attacked a hotel in the Somali capital using similar tactics of blastings and shootings their way inside. The death toll in the attack on the popular Makram Hotel was 14. And that's our last take on the news at 7. Do not go away. We'll bring you our program in the next half hour, the reporters. In the meantime, be ready. Also, our 9:45 bulletin will be coming much later. I'm Emmanuel Ezekiel, and many thanks for watching.